Alexa, turn on my computer.
Okay.
On. Welcome back, guys. This is Legit Lee back again with another video for you. Today I'm showing you guys how I actually set up the Amazon Alexa to turn on my computer through voice control. So you guys may have seen my how to turn things on with a relay switch. This one's kind of the same thing, but a little more different because it's a little more complex. You have to cut into some wiring and get into your computer really in depth. So I wouldn't recommend this to anybody unless they knew what they were doing for their computer. So if you're not that computer savvy, if you want to follow along, that's completely fine. But I take no responsibility in whatever happens to your stuff. So be it as it may, whatever happens to your components, your computer, it's all on you. I hold no responsibility and I'm not reliable for anything that you guys do to it. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. So here I'm showing you this picture because this is actually a 24-pin extender. It extends your power supply's 24-pin header that goes into the computer's motherboard. And I bought this because my computer's power supply, one, I don't want to cut into it. So if you want to do this, I would recommend doing this. Obviously I did it, but my power supply has all black wires. This one's really nice because it has color coding. Most older ones will have color coding, but all the new, nicer ones have all black or all red, blue, or green, whatever you're trying to keep your color coding in for your computer. So I cut into this purple wire here because this is called a 5-volt standby wire. And what that means is as long as the computer is plugged into the wall and your plug is plugged into the back of your computer's power supply and the power supply is on, your computer may not be on, but your power supply is on, this 5-volt standby is exactly what it means. It stands by the whole time, staying on as long as the computer is plugged into the wall, and gives out a constant 5 volts of power. So this is the positive right here, and then all you have to do is hook up a negative wire like this one right here, which I'm showing you right now in this next photo. So right here you see that I cut into the purple wire and I cut into the black, taped it up, have the lines coming out so that way I can use those two wires. The reason why I need them is because the NodeMCU uses a USB type B port, just like this one right here. And what that is basically like the cell phone charger they used to use before they went to USB type C for all the new phones. You can find these really cheap. I actually know that you can go to like a Dollar Tree store and pick one up for $1 literally with the data connections on it, so they're really affordable. And so what I did was cut off the USB part and strip the wires back so I can get the positive 12 volts and the negative 12 volt, the negative 5 volts, so positive 5 and negative 5 volts that go from the USB port over to the USB type B connector. So here you see I'm using a bunch of DuPont connectors for my node. Basically most computers have a DuPont connector set up. Their pin headers like this one over here, they usually come out, most computers have them anyway, and or 3D printers, a lot of people use them nowadays. So I'm just connecting some female connectors right here onto that to make it look nicer and more flush. And then I just slide this casing like this one back here onto it to make it look nice. And here you see that I have the positive and the negative going into these two male connectors. They're just pin outs that go into the female. And you can see the red and the black right here. And that goes into the USB port. So then we plug the USB cord into the NodeMCU. This is what mine looks like. Yours may look kind of, they all look kind of the same, but some of them may have different pin outs here, so the pins may be reversed or something like that. So definitely check your data sheet before you start wiring up everything. This wiring that I just did is perfectly fine. This will be the universal setup for all the nodes, but the pin out on the nodes may be different. Anyway, so you can see right here, this is my power supply's 24 pin. It has black like I was mentioning. So my computer is pretty much a red and black setup. That's my color theme, and I like red and black. That's my favorite colors. Anyway, so I unplugged it from the port here. This is the header that you plug into the motherboard. This is the motherboard's port for it. And then I plugged in the the header into this extender part, and then this part will go into the actual motherboard, so that way it'll be given all the power it needs. Right here we have a regular smartphone. This is the Note 5. It has regular USB type B port, and this is just for the NodeMCU to turn it on. So basically I have my computer on. You can see a little light over here. It's not fully on, it's just plugged in. I'm letting you know that it does have power from the wall. And you can see right here, this is the adapter extender. And then over here, you'll see the wire coming out. This is the extender part that you just seen those pictures. Comes into this DuPont connector, then goes down into this USB type B. So we're just going to plug this in. I'm trying to do this all with one hand, so bear with me, guys. Okay, there we go. I'm going to pop this in here. There it goes. I think that did it. And there you have it, charging. That means this is 5 volts. It is giving power to the phone. Phone is at 15%. I don't know if you guys can see, that's kind of super bright and like throwing off lighting and all that, but there you go. Anyway, so that's charging. You can see that it's working. That is 5 volts coming off the standby power from the purple wire and just a regular black ground. So that 5 volt standby comes out over here into this DuPont connector, purple and grays for the black. Goes down to this connector, red and black, and then comes out to charge the phone. There, you can see the little red light. So that will definitely turn on the NodeMCU, and then once you have the NodeMCU plugged up, all you would have to do is jump off your power. You'll split the power plug. Basically, you'll make a DuPont splitter, something with like one of these. And basically, where you plug in your pins for the power on, for your power on button, there's 2 pins that comes off, and they look like DuPonts. You'll just make a splitter where you can plug in the NodeMCU's GPIO pin, and then so that way you can use both the power switch and the NodeMCU for the Alexa controlled turning on everything, basically. So that's pretty much how I'm going to go about it. I'm going to show you guys in just a second what that looks like also. I'm just explaining why I have a splitter and why that's actually going on. Right here is my power switch. This is an MSI Z270 Gaming M7 motherboard. It uses the chipset, I think it's 1151 if I'm not mistaken. It's the i7 7th generation, the Kaby Lake. Anyway, right here is the power supply power button port. It's just this one, the one next to no pin basically on here. So I just pull this out. There you go. And this is the, see, if I can just move it to the side a little bit here. There you go. So basically those first 2 pins, right when there is no pin right here, if you can see that. I'm gonna try to see if I can zoom in a little bit. Right. Zoom in. It's hard to show this. There we go. So right here has no pin, then the next 2 pin is for your power connector. Right, this one right here. So it would just slide in right there. It wouldn't matter either way. All they do is just connect together. So basically, instead of them being separate, they make one wire when you press the button, and then that's what tells the motherboard how to turn on. So right now, all I have to do, I made some jumpers, which I'm going to show you right now. Right here. Got these jumper wires. Basically they go from 1 wire to 2, and they're both DuPonts. And then that'll be able to connect everything up together perfectly. So I'll get that set up and you guys will see that next. So right here you got 1 and 2 for both of the pins on the regular power supply port. So that's the power button, and we're jumping them off. So you see right here I got a DuPont connector going from one female DuPont connector, goes into these jumper connectors to connect to the other female, and then right here are the other 2 power buttons coming out. So basically we're adding just another power button switch. So you got that one and this one for the other end. You guys can see that red one coming out. So I have a white one, and that's actually purple, a purple one. So there's 2 different buttons that will be able to be triggered. So one for the NodeMCU, and then one for your regular power button switch, so you won't lose that either. Alright everyone, so if you're using a relay like this one right here, one of those regular 5-volt relays you can get that handles 15 amps, or if you're using a MOSFET. So relay, the only difference between the two is relay can handle more current, and they make a tactile noise. It clicks on because it gets energized. There's basically, it turns into like an electromagnet and makes contact with 2 metal plates inside. A MOSFET just uses this NPN transistor, basically is a MOSFET, and it does quiet switching. It closes the gate, I believe what it is, or a base. All I know is this is quiet switching, that is louder switching, but this one can handle higher amperage and volts. This one can't do that unless you add a heat sink. You can see that hole right there to the back of it, and even with that it can only do so much. But so the difference between the two when you're doing the code is this one will be set to low to turn, set to high to turn on, and then low to turn off. This will be low to turn on, and then high to turn off for the information. So right now I have on here, let me just adjust it, then we'll upload this here. I'm just using this off of my phone right now. Now just wait for it to upload. Achieving, blah blah blah. You'll see the little light start flashing over there because it is uploading to the code. I don't know if you can see that little blue light or not. It's kind of hard to see. There you go. Flashing. And you'll see it, it'll stop flashing within a few minutes here. Not even a few minutes, just a few seconds. It's at 56, it'll do 96 I think. And then it should be finished right after that. I'm doing it all off my phone, guys, because I'm just trying to make a quick video. Basically, so now the node is programmed, and all you have to do is say, Alexa, turn on relay 2. Okay, so it's constantly on because I left it as the on position. It stays on the whole time, high, at 300 milliseconds delay. Now, the low, the only reason it's 300 milliseconds delay is because I'm going to add another portion to that code there in a second. But the low is to turn off relay 2. So, Alexa, turn off relay 2.
Okay.
And see, now it's shut off. So now if we wanted to hook up the signal, the ground, and the VCC to the relay, it will do where it does, instead of being high, it'll be low, so this will be constantly on. It'll be versed, basically. And I'll show you that in just a second. Okay, so you can see right here, green and red. Red indicates that it has power, green means that it's sending out the signal to turn on the relay. So it's already on because we told this one just a second ago to shut off. So I'm going to say, Alexa, turn on relay 2. It's going to shut off. Watch.
I don't know that one.
Alexa, turn on relay 2.
Okay.
Now it shut it off. It's versed, basically. So if you guys come across something like that, basically the difference between a MOSFET and a toggle switch, a actual relay, is the high and low values. So this requires a low signal to turn on and a high signal to turn off. This one requires a high signal to turn on and a low signal to turn off. So now when I say to turn off, when I tell it to turn on, it's gonna be off, but if I tell it to turn off, it'll be on. So Alexa, turn off relay 2.
Okay.
And to it is talking about it needs to be on. So basically that's the difference between the two. I just want to let you guys see that. But this will be what I'm putting inside of my actual computer here. To turn on the computer, I'll change it to telling her to turn on the computer. But I would use this one. I'm still debating if I want to or not. I mean, I didn't really want to have this inside of here because I didn't really want to hear any clicking, but then it kind of makes sense to have that. It just depends. I have to see how I really feel about it. I like quiet stuff, but it'll tell me that it's turning on by making a noise, and then Alexa, the Amazon Echo will tell me right afterwards. She is a delay in that because one, she has to read the code back. Like the node has to send the code. She has to send a trigger to the node, and the node has to send a response back. So she's waiting to receive that response. Then she says, okay, it has been done. So depending on how long your code is waiting for, if I put like a 10-second delay, she's gonna say that it is not responding. But it is responding, it just is taking a while because there's 10 seconds trying to wait for 10 seconds to pass before it does anything else to the code. The response back is gonna be the last part of that code that Alexa is listening for. Alexa, stop listening. But that's basically what's going on with this. I just want to make this nice few minute video about this. This is still going into the computer. Gonna have it set up. I'm gonna show you guys afterwards of how it's looking. Update. So I went ahead and decided to go with the relay board instead. This is just one single relay board connected to the NodeMCU, and I'm using digital pin 2 on this side, and you can see voltage 3 and ground going to my VCC, I think is what it is, the name of the port. So basically, positive is white, negative, the ground is black, and then signal is purple, and the signal wire is the digital pin 2, so there'll be 3 pins down from the first pin on the node there. And I'm using just the voltage 3 and 3 volt and the ground pin on the bottoms there. So all you have to do now is say Alexa, turn on relay 2, because it's on digital pin 2.
Okay.
And she'll turn it on. And then Alexa, turn off relay 2. Alexa, turn off relay 2.
Okay.
Okay, so now that we have that established, now we're going to add one last thing to the code here, which will be to write it high. I'm going to copy this. Go right here, paste that, and then we just upload this, and let's put a delay, DELAY, let's delay, and then we get that. Let's just do a second. Because, well, we'll do 2 seconds, but I'll change it back to a second just to show you guys what I'm trying to do. That'll be 2000. We're doing micros here, so it'll be 2000 for it. And parentheses. There we go. So now we just upload the code. Sketch should be just fine. We're just adding another portion in here. And now we just wait for it to upload. It'll start uploading here in a second. You see the flashing light. Okay, there it goes. Now it's gonna start flashing, uploading the code. Sorry guys, that was my daughter. She's acting ridiculous. Let's see. Come on, we're almost done. There we go. Now it'll instantly be on at first when you first upload the code. But with what I added here, basically I'm adding a switch for the turning on portion. So instead of it staying on when we say to turn on, it'll write low for the relay, because that's what it is. The relay is low, the MOSFET is high. So the relay needs to be low for it to be on, and then high to be off. And the MOSFET has to be high to be on and low to be off. But basically, so what's going on here is it's going to write low to turn on, then high to turn off after 2 seconds. So it'll be a 2-second delay, and that'll be enough time as if you were pressing your computer power button on for 2 seconds, holding it down for 2 seconds. Because each computer's power button is a momentary switch, so you don't have to hold it forever and it doesn't stay pressed in the whole time. You only press it once and it releases afterwards, so it's not a complete closed circuit the whole time, it's just for a moment. That's why it's called a momentary switch. But anyway, so now we just say, Alexa, turn on relay 2. Okay, so now we're gonna do it one last time because we just uploaded the code, so now it's off, but now it should blink on and off really quick. Alexa, turn on relay 2. There you go.
Okay.
So now it's on and off. Now it's just for 2 seconds. I mean, you could drag it out as long as you want. You can change it to 10 seconds, however long you want it. But if the longer you have it held for the position, the longer it takes for Alexa to hear the response back, and she won't hear it back after so many seconds, then she'll say it's not responding and she doesn't know what the heck's going on. But the code will still go. She will just say, instead of saying okay, she's just gonna say it's not responding, but the code will still work and it will still stay on for that many seconds, then shut off on its own. But yeah, that's it. That's the little tutorial for this portion, and then stay tuned for the next part where I get it installed into the computer and you can actually watch the computer turn on. Okay, so remember that USB cord? Got that plugged into the NodeMCU. And now we have the relay. We have to wire these 2 wires. These are the one off of that jumper wire down here. Remember the wire earlier that I was showing you guys? If you guys can see that over there. That's the, just try to get down over here. See those 2 wires coming out down through that green down to the black, and then it's looking purple and white. That goes to that green and blue, which is coming out over here, green and blue. And then we will connect these 2 into the last 2 on this relay board right here. The first 2, I guess, if you're going this way. So this one and this one. But we can't do that just yet, because remember, when the node first gets power from the computer or anything you're plugging into, the relay instantly turns on first. So when it turns on, it's going to stay on, and that's going to keep your computer on. It will instantly turn the computer on and then stay on the whole time until you tell Alexa to keep shutting it off. Alexa, stop listening. Anyway, so first you need to plug in your stuff. So I'm going to plug in my computer over here in the back. I got the power cord. Just need to figure out how to do this backwards. Okay. There we go. And that gave it power. And see, there it goes. The node is actually on. and has power. So now we can just say, Alexa, turn off relay 2.
Okay.
Okay, so now we got it completely off. Now all I have to do is just say, Alexa, turn on relay 2. So there you have it. Now the computer is not really on. There's no power. You can just go around the corner here. There's no power other than the indicator lights saying that the computer has power because of the power plug. But I haven't turned on anything. You don't see any lights over here coming from my hard drives, and the screen is off. There's nothing going on. And it will turn on if I clip these two wires together, because that's momentary switching. And that's what this is going to do down here. So now we're just going to, basically I'm going to cut the video out real quick, just screw in these two wires into the first 2 slots, and then we'll get everything running. Okay guys, so we have the node plugged into the relay, and the relay is connected to those first 2 slots. Remember, I was showing it the other way, but it'll be on the on and COM, I believe is what it is. On and COM, yeah, on the board there. And those 2 are connected to the jumper wires that we made earlier. So that way we can have both this one to turn on the computer and your regular push button. As you can see, I unplugged the computer, and I'm about to plug everything else in. Gotta unplug this part. Just want to make sure that my computer is dead. Yes, no power whatsoever. That's good, because you don't want to touch anything while your computer has power, guys. You don't want to fry nothing. So let's go ahead and unplug this from the node. I'll just unplug it completely from my computer here. Set that aside. And plug in this one to the node. Just trying to do this where you guys can see. Trying to do it all with one hand, which is ridiculous, but there we go. All plugged in, ready to go. And then now what we're going to do, now you can do this either way. I can just plug that in, then put this in and screw it in, or you can, I wouldn't recommend screwing it in right now. So probably would be better just to plug it in first. So let me plug it in here. There it goes, got power. So yeah, no more power plug, and then we can check around here, and there you go, you see the indicator lights stating the computer has power. That is great. Unscrew that. First, let's go ahead and tell it to turn on. Alexa, turn on relay 2. There you go. See, that first time you plug it up, it will always be on. Then you have to tell it, turn it off, turn it on, whatever. As long as that green light is off, then you don't have to worry about it. Now, all I have to do is say, Alexa, turn on relay 2. Alexa, turn on relay 2. There you have it. So for now on, forever, that would work. So now we're just going to plug this portion into the other side. There you go. Screw it down, because these are screw terminals. Make sure it's nice and tight. Try not to strip it. Make sure the other one. Alright, so now that that's done, I'm not touching anything. I'm gonna go ahead and lift this up. Get that pushed back in there. Anyway, so now the node is connected to the power button. Basically, is its own power button, and all we have to do is say, I'm gonna go around the corner, hold in both. You guys can see my hand. Obviously, I'm holding both with the camera. Alexa, turn on relay 2. There you go. You heard the click.
Okay.
It turned on for a second, shut off for a second, and now my screen's about to come on. Sorry about the light, guys. I know it's pretty bright. Let me just dim that a little bit. There you go. You see that it's working. It's turning on. Everything is working great. No problems with that. It's logged in. Bam, perfect. Now, if you wanted to, you can actually shut off the computer. At least mine can. I'm not sure about all. Mine can. I don't know about all computers. I know mine can do this, but some computers can do it, some can't. I'm not sure if it's because of some manufacturers' motherboards or what, but basically, if I tell it to shut off, or if I press my power button up here to shut off the computer, it will just instantly shut off. It will say shut down and everything like that. Another computer I had never did that. If I click the power button, it won't just shut off. I have to wait and hold it down. But for my computer right now, this one that I'm working with, this MSI, this one is definitely working that way. So all I have to do is say, let me see if I can first get it out of this. There we go. Get this moved. So I just want to show you guys with everything in sight. So you can see that. Okay. Alexa, turn off relay 2. Shutting down and perfect.
Okay.
So there you have it, guys. Shut down the computer. And you can see over here, fans are stopped running. All that is great in the world. Perfect. Screen says no connection. There is nothing. So everything is working out great. So I literally made the Amazon Echo be able to turn on my computer. So just for funs and kicks, let's just go ahead and do it again because I like this. Alexa, turn on relay 2. And there you have it.
Okay.
And give it a second. It's on. I mean, I know for sure it's on. See, the fan's running. And then there you go. Turning on. Everything is running just great. Light, it's a little bright up there. I'm sorry, guys. And bam, there you have it. Then we can just shut it off one more time. You know, I had to do that. Just, you know, I had to do it twice. I just want to show you guys and show myself, like, this is pretty cool. Alexa, turn off relay 2. There you go.
Okay.
Perfect. Now is the next fun part. I'm going to actually set it up. All you have to do, this is super easy. My next part that I'm going to do, which I'll show you in just a second, but I'm not going to show you how to do it exactly. I'm just going to show you that it does work. But basically, what you're going to do is, if you have a smartphone, or, you know, whether it's Android or the iPhones or whatever, you're going to go into download the Alexa app. If you haven't already, definitely do so for the Amazon Echo. And then what you're going to do is go into that app, go into Home Automations inside the Menus tab, and then you can rewrite the name for the relay, because it's going to say Relay 2 on it. But if you rewrite the name, select the name for the relay or whatever, you're going to be able to set it up, type in the name, say my computer, and then that will set up to where you can tell the Amazon Echo, turn on my computer, and it will turn on the computer. So I'm gonna do that in just a second through the app, and then I'll go ahead and show you guys it working with me saying to turn it on that way. Alright, everyone, so now that we're done with all that, now I can say, Alexa, turn on my computer.
Okay.
On. Pretty awesome, guys. So there you have it. Perfectly set up. How to get my computer going. And, you know, obviously it's on, so then all I have to do is say, to turn it off, is Alexa, turn off my computer. Shutting down, guys.
Okay.
Hope you guys liked the video. Please like, subscribe, let me know what you think. This is Legit Lee, and I'm signing out.